because I'm a big believer. I believe, I believe it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you.
Right.
And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that'd be created. I see value in having an Ethereum ETF.
Wait a minute, everyone. Get ready for the ultimate crypto investing website, the Bitcoin Seller. It's your golden ticket to an exclusive insiders club. Expert predictions, on-chain data, and breaking news, all for you. Imagine all crypto insights landing in your inbox daily, like having your own expert team. Don't miss this VIP opportunity. Click the link and secure your spot. Join now and ride the crypto roller coaster with the Bitcoin Seller. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. He has some interesting insights on why he is bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and how they compare to gold as a store of value. He also shares his thoughts on the future of crypto ETFs and how they can benefit investors. You don't want to miss this exclusive interview with one of the most influential figures in the financial industry. So, without further ado, let's get started with our conversation with Larry Fink.
When we bought BGI in 2009, we were ridiculed by most of the financial community for saying you cannot marry the culture of an active investor, who we were, and a passive culture. And we said, why? Our clients use both products. Our job is to be agnostic to our clients, to work with our clients, and to provide a whole portfolio solution. But over time, more and more clients started to think about, how do I want to get an exposure? Do I want an exposure in this area or this product? And I can do that through actively investing in ETFs. In 2012, we said ETFs are going to be the new engine for fixed income. And boy, did that get a lot of ridicule by many people in the business community. And today, the fixed income markets are totally imbued by ETFs. And so at BlackRock, when we bought BGI, we had $290 billion of ETFs. Today, we have $3.5 trillion. And then this week alone, just yesterday, we launched the iShares Bitcoin ETF. And so I would say to you, if we could ETF a Bitcoin, imagine what we could do with all financial instruments. And so what we announced in our architectural change, iShares was this business division in itself, and we thought that's too exclusive. We needed to include the ethos, the philosophy, the spirituality of what iShares can provide in everything we do at BlackRock, because we believe we're just halfway there in the ETF revolution, that everything is going to be ETF'd. And we needed to ensure both active products, passive products, digital products are going to be used through the vehicle of ETFs. At the same time, in this architectural change, we're elevating the whole concept that we are going to be curating more and more of our performance-based products too. So it's a very large architectural change. A lot of people have asked me, iShares is the most successful division within BlackRock. Look what it did. Why are you doing this now? And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, we believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We can rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities around bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we can customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, If we know every moment who is the owner of that stock, and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own shares. It's just it's a wrapper. It's not the end of it, but I would say the dominant form of bringing products going forward will be in the form of ETFs.
Larry Fink talks about how he made BlackRock the top ETF company. ETFs are funds that you can trade like stocks. They are cheap, diverse, and flexible. They can be active or passive, depending on how you pick them. Larry Fink says that he bought another ETF company in 2009, and many people doubted him. They thought he could not mix active and passive investing, but he did, and his clients liked it. He also saw that ETFs would change the bond market, and he was right. He grew his ETF business from $290 billion to $3.5 trillion. He also says that BlackRock just launched the first Bitcoin ETF, which follows the price of Bitcoin. He says that if they can make an ETF for Bitcoin, they can make one for anything. He says that they are changing their structure to make ETFs more central to BlackRock. He says that ETFs are the future of investing. He also says that ETFs are not just a product, but a technology. He says that they are like Bitcoin, which is also a technology for storing value. He says that the next step is to make every stock and bond digital, and to record them on a shared ledger. He says that this will make investing better, safer, and faster. He says that this will also let investors customize their strategies and vote on corporate issues. He says that ETFs are the best way to do this. That's what Larry Fink says about ETFs and how they are transforming finance. He is very optimistic and visionary about ETFs, and he wants to share his ideas with us. Stay tuned for the next part, where we will go deeper into some of the topics that he mentioned.
For the first 3 years of thinking about it, I was a naysayer, and about 2 years ago, I switched, and I'm actually, as I said in the last 2 years, I'm a big believer. I don't want to compete with our clients, so I don't buy single assets. I'll buy mutual funds. I'll buy single ETFs. So I have an opportunity to do that now. But I'm a believer in it because I do believe it is an alternative source for wealth holding. I don't believe it's ever going to be a currency. I believe it's an asset class. I think we are going to create digital currencies. We're going to use the technology for it. We're going to use the blockchain. I believe it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you.
Right.
And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that we created. What we are trying to do is offer an instrument that can store wealth. I think if it gets that even close to that high, gold will represent even a bigger value. And let's be clear, if you think it's digital gold, there's going to be a reference point between gold and Bitcoin. But let me get back to what happened yesterday. A part of our announcement that you mentioned in the opening, that we changed the architecture of our firm.
Right.
And much of it has to do with how we think about iShares and ETFs. When we bought BGI, very few people believed in that acquisition. And we were pretty mistreated for a couple of years, because we said active and passive can coexist. Obviously, we were right in that too. We said the fixed income market will be transformed through ETFs. That has now happened. Yesterday, we had the first day of Bitcoin ETFs. In our reorganization is taking that ethos of what has happened over the last 10 years. We believe ETFs is the technology that's going to transform every asset class. We believe everything will be done through ETFs. And so we believe this is just the beginning. Rick is now doing more ETFs in his active space now. There's a great example of how we are taking what a very active investor and putting that into an ETF platform. Let me be clear. I think ETFs are step one in the technological revolution in the financial markets. Step two is going to be the tokenization of every financial asset. And to me, this is where we believe it's going. So we're looking at Bitcoin, we're looking at ETFs in the same manner. These are technological changes that can allow us to move forward. Primarily, we're trying to create an opportunity for new customers can invest in this financial instrument. Over the long run, do we believe, just think about the fee differential between an ETF and some of these trusts.
Right.
These trusts are like 120 basis points, and these are 20 to 30 basis points in the ETF wrapper. And this is the big issue with the SEC. This is something what you may want to ask Gary. The industry asked to transfer in kind into an ETF, and that was denied by the SEC. That's a fine. So that there would be no tax ramifications. That was not denied. They wanted to really just create from scratch cash only, which we all respect the SEC's reasoning. Start adding up the fees and adding up the fees. People are going to start thinking about redeeming and then ultimately going into an ETF. I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. As I said, these are just stepping stones towards tokenization. And I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. If you want to think about this. If you had a tokenized security and you have a tokenized identity, you, Andrew, the moment you buy or sell an instrument, it's known. It's on a general ledger that is all created together. You want to talk about issues around money laundering and all that. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized system.
Larry Fink tells us how he became a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. He invests in funds and ETFs that follow them. He thinks Bitcoin is like gold, but better. He also changed his firm, BlackRock, to focus on ETFs. He launched the first Bitcoin ETF in the US and wants to launch more for other assets, like Ethereum. He thinks ETFs are the first step to make all assets digital and secure. He calls this tokenization. He thinks tokenization will improve investing and voting. He wants to create opportunities for new customers to invest in these technologies. He knows there are rules and fees to follow, but he hopes for more freedom and innovation. He likes Ethereum ETF and thinks tokenization is the goal. He has the technology to do it now and wants to talk about the benefits. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.